So, when TV writer-producer Danny Jordan and his wife found out their daughter would be born with a limb difference, Danny knew that his little girl was coming into a world not always kind to kids with disabilities. So he decided he was going to change that. And that is how the idea of The Capables was born. The Capables is a series of children's books in which all the superheroes are kids with disabilities. And their disabilities are actually what connects them to their superpowers. The first book is Danny's series is called Rhea. It stars Rhea. Rhea is the character inspired by his daughter Emerson, who you see right there on your screen. She's a sweetheart. Danny Jordan joined us this morning along with Nicole Kelly. Nicole sits on the board of The Capables, and Nicole is also a former Miss Iowa, and she herself was born with a limb difference. Welcome to both of you, Danny and Nicole.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. We're thrilled to be here.
I'm so excited to talk to both of you. Danny, let's start with you. So you and your wife found out you were going to have a little girl, and she was going to face some challenges growing up. The very next day, you had this idea, and you thought this was going to be your responsibility moving forward. Talk about that.
Yeah, so back in 2018, when my wife was about 22 weeks pregnant, we were sent to see a perinatologist, and during a 2.5-hour ultrasound, they confirmed that our daughter would be born with an upper limb difference. So for me, as a dad to be, a first-time dad to be, a storyteller, I just felt compelled to do whatever I could to put something out into this world that would make the world my daughter grows up in more inclusive, more loving, more educated, more empowering. And so the next day, this idea hit me for this group of kid superheroes called The Capables, and I've been working on it nonstop for the last 3 years, and it's just been so incredible to see all these people really from around the world rallying behind us, supporting us, and helping us to get this message of inclusion out into the world.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not just about understanding what's going on, but it's the exposure that people sometimes lack. I think the idea of having the villains in your stories not be people, but experiences is also the key here.
Yeah, you know, I think when we think about kids oftentimes don't think of other kids being scary. They just think of events that are scary to them. It could be the first day of school, which in the case of Ray's first day, it's her first day of school. And it's a rainy day. And the last thing any kid, or at least for me growing up, the last thing I wanted was a rainy day at school, because it meant I had to have indoor recess. And so Ray's superpower is that she can harness the power of the sun's rays. And though she's never shown her superpower to anybody before, she's faced with this conflict of, do I finally show this and bring out the sun so my classmates can have recess outside? And that'll be an ongoing theme within the series of The Capables is these individuals using their superpowers, you know, whether it's a test, going to the dentist or the doctor for the first time. It's really about things that are scary for kids, and The Capables using their superpowers to help themselves and others navigate those scary events.
Sure, makes sense. Nicole, what was it like for you growing up, and how important would it have been to have a book like this when you were a kid?
Yeah, you know, growing up, I was never taught that the identity of disability was something that I could be proud of. I was taught that that was something I should be ashamed of. And it was when I became an adult and really started to face the world by myself, one-on-one interacting with people, that I really learned how powerful my life could have been if I had that pride instilled from the start. Had I had people teaching me the language of disability and teaching me to be proud of needing to ask for certain access tools. These were things that I wasn't taught. Stories didn't exist about people with disabilities. I never saw one person like myself on the stage or screen or in a book. And I just think this is such a fantastic opportunity in this series to get the idea of disability pride into the next generation and to save them a lot of time and hurt and heartache that maybe I went through as I tried to find and search for my own disability pride.
And starting this conversation at a young age, because you're talking about you growing up and not having anyone to look at or to help guide you along the way, and it could have, and you probably felt lonely at times.
It felt lonely in the sense that I had a lot of experiences and things and the world interacting with me in ways that didn't make sense. And I didn't have anybody to come beside me and say, you know what, that's a disability microaggression. Let's talk about what that means, and let's talk about the appropriate way to respond when somebody actually treats you that way. And I really, really think that this is our opportunity to correct that and to give kids that language and that education now from the start.
Danny, you had never written a book before, let alone a children's book. How challenging was it?
Oh my gosh, it was challenging because, like you said, I'd written stories, you know, for reality TV, but it's a totally different beast. So for me, you know, I let this sort of like creative shackles sort of come off and just let whatever came to me naturally come out. And there were days where I would write an entire scene, or there were days where I would write nothing. And I just trusted that this story would come together in the timing that it was meant to. And that's when, you know, Nicole and our board just came in and they played a vital role in ensuring that we didn't just have an entertaining story, but that we had an empowering, an educational, and an authentic story as well.
And what was Emerson's reaction when she saw the final product, that she helped inspire the superhero?
It's, you know, you talk about like what means the most to me in this whole entire process, and it's seeing my daughter being able to hold a book where the hero looks like her. That has been my goal from day one, has been to write, illustrate, and print just one book where my daughter and I get to read a book together where there's a hero that looks like her. And so to see her there looking at this book, calling out Ray's name and smiling and laughing as she navigates her story, it's the greatest sense of joy I will ever know.
Oh, I love it. I love the emotion and the fact that you viewed this as your responsibility and you made it a reality. I'm hoping that this becomes like an animated series, and with your background, it definitely needs to be something I'm sure you're working on. So we'll definitely have you back to talk about that. And I do want to leave with this quote that I actually heard you say in your Kickstarter video, which was really moving. It is our differences that make us beautiful. And as we say in the world of the capables, it is their differences that make them super. I love that. That is so beautiful. Nicole, Danny, thank you so much. All of you at home, you can pre-order The Capables at thecapables.com. Also, please be sure to follow them on social media at The Capables. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Oh my goodness.
Wasn't that awesome?
Incredible. I was sending you top line saying, this is incredible. This is such a great conversation.